Okay, this is part 2 video of how to transfer data from your Goal 1 encuestas to your Goal 1 spreadsheet in Excel and then to the VRF. So today, what we're going to be looking at is the VRF and your Goal 1 spreadsheet. So let's get those two things up here. So we're going to be taking information from this Goal 1 spreadsheet that you filled out last time with all of your project baseline and your project final evaluation information, and we're going to be taking that data and putting it into the VRF. So this will be done once the project has been totally completed, all the evaluations have been done, and all the evaluation information has been entered into the Excel spreadsheet. So we're going to start the VRF here. So we're going to go, we're going to skip the parts that are tell your story and other information and context, because it's assumed that you probably will already have those filled out and you will just need to update them with this VRF. So we're going to start a new activity. Say OK. This activity, we've got our description over here, which is the description we had in the previous version. So it's the title. We're going to add our title right here. Healthy Intelligent Children, our start date, project start date. You can just copy and paste if it's in the right format. All right, and then we have a project description. The project description needs to be fairly complete. It's got all the information about who participated, what was done, what the schedule was, if it included latrines or a cocina building, which it did not, and as well as who else participated in running the project, so who was on the committee, and what sources of funding were given to this project. All right, so now that you have the project description in, you'll scroll down. This project was worked on by one volunteer. We're going to create a new recording cohort. Now there's and this reporting cohort is just so that you don't double count. If you've already worked with these moms on something else that you've reported in the VRF, you can pick that option from the drop down here. But in this case, these mothers hadn't participated in anything else with the volunteer. So the volunteer did do this project in their site. No mass media, yes to Peace Corps Goal 1 for the Community Health Promotion Program primary project. No for any other partnerships, no to Goal 2, and no to Peace Corps Goal 3. So this project didn't work on any cross-sector programming priorities, so we're going to say no on all of those. But if the project had, you would just check accordingly and fill out the information that the VRF asks you for. All right, how many participants? So we can go back and look at the spreadsheet, and we can see that the participants of the participant mothers, there were 10 who were ages 18 to 24, and then there was 17 who were 25 and above. I'm going to say, here we go, 10 and 17. And then therapist providers, there were 3 health promoters who worked on this project with Peace Corps volunteer. The project did not work on organizational strengthening, nor was it a community-wide project. Funding. The project was not funded by a small grants program, no, but it had local funding. Most projects are going to have some kind of funding, if even just in-kind donation of locale or of people hours. So here we go. We see that the municipality of Chota, we're going to add a funding source. Funding type, community. Description is going to be educational materials, food, supplies, and educational toys. And the amount, we can look at our description, it was about $3,000, 3,000 US. So again, all these amounts are going to be in US dollars, not in soles. Funding source was also the communities of Popamayo and Conga Blanca. Or this would be community in kind, is use of the meeting space, use of community locale for educational sessions. And because it was in kind, we don't have to put a cash value to that. So we go next. And then based on what you see in your project, you would fill out these questions here. Go next. All right, the main part that we want to get to today is how to chart, how to report your activities in these indicators. So what we want to show is that you've been working, this project worked on objectives 1.1, 1.2, and 1.3. So we're going to click all of those because that was a Healthy and Intelligent Children project that worked on all of these areas. Hit next. All right, here's all the indicators listed for the Goal 1 projects. I'm just going to sort them in order just to make sure that they're in the order that I want to see them so that it's easier for me to report them in the VRF. And I'm going to go back to my Excel sheet and change it to input for VRF. All right, the numbers that show up on this Excel sheet at this point are going to be the numbers that I'm going to report into the VRF, always checking to make sure that they make sense, you know, that there's not any kind of errors or anything that seems strange that maybe was a typo or a reporting error. So I'm going to get this settled so that I can see both screens at the same time. I'm going to go into 1.1001. All right, so the first question is demonstrated use of growth credit card. So here we have the same 1.1001, 27 out of 27. So that's what I'm going to report, 27 moms out of 27 moms. Next indicator, 0 to 36 months, improved level of development. So I'm going to need to move the screens around a little bit here to be able to see everything. We have 5 out of 5, 0 out of 0, 4 to 6, 2 out of 2, 2 out of 2, 7 out of 9, and 3 out of 3. Next indicator, children 6 to 11 months who receive 3 or more feedings plus breast milk. So that's this indicator here, goal 1.3003. So here we had 4 out of 5 and 2 out of 2. Next. All right, children 12 to 59 months who receive 3 meals and 2 snacks. So 0 out of 1, 5 out of 8, 3 out of 6, and 2 out of 8. 0 out of 1, 5 out of 8, 3 out of 6, 2 out of 8. All right, next. Children who were previously stunted and now have a normal height for age. So this means that the child had to have been stunted at the baseline of this project for them to be able to have been recovered by the end. So here, not all children were in this category, 0, 0. So here there were 2 out of 3. All right, next indicator, trained on latrine maintenance. This is just a basic training number. How many of the mothers attended the training? And you could also keep track of whether or not there were any other family members who came to these trainings. In this case, in this project, it was just the mothers. But if for some reason there were males in the household who came or other family members, you would indicate them here. But here it was just, in this case, it was just the females and it was the mothers who participated in the project. So they all came to this training. But we are now going to report on people using functional latrines 3 months after construction or rehabilitation. All right, so this means that the latrine needed to have been built or rehabilitated during the project. And since this project, as we saw in the project description, did not work on building latrines or cocinas, there's a very low number here. There are actually two families built or rehabilitated their latrines during the project. So 1 out of 1 and 1 out of 1. All right, and then we go to the next indicator that's just a training indicator again, trained on the benefits, health benefits of improved cook stoves. Again, all of the mothers were present, so we had 10 of 17. And so I'm looking at this over here, indicator 072, and the numbers that correspond. And then similarly, we're going to go to the next indicator that talks about households using properly maintained cook stoves. And here on the Excel sheet, I can see that 7 out of 10 are achieving there. And why, again, do we have a low number of 10 when we had 27 families participate? Was because only 10 of those families had improved cook stoves. And this project did not build any new infrastructure. So of those 27, only 10 had them. And of the 10, 7 were properly maintaining. All right. HE095, infants who are exclusively breastfed for the first 6 months. Scroll down. Find the right indicator over on your Excel sheet. So males 6 to 12 months, there were 5 out of 5, and females 2 out of 2. Next indicator. All right, these are the mothers who are able to identify optimal feeding practices. I'm going to scroll over on your Excel sheet. And in this case, there were 7 out of 10 mothers, ages 18 to 24, and 16 out of 17 mothers, 25 and above, who could identify the 3 optimal complementary feeding practices. So next, this indicator 102 refers to whether or not the mother is able to demonstrate how to make a nutritious meal for a child under 5. So looking at the Excel sheet again, for females 18 to 24, we have 8 out of 10. And then for 25 years and above, we have 14 out of 17. 8, I'm gonna put that information in just like I see it. 14 out of 17. You want to make sure you click on this area or you hit tab so that the VRF totals everything. So next. All right, HE108. This indicator, unfortunately, is not, in the system, is not written correctly, because as you can see, males have, from 6 to 11 months, have 2 opportunities to be charted, and females 1 to 5 years have 2 opportunities to be charted. But you don't have males 1 to 5 or females 6 to 11 months. But we're going to assume that this is probably laid out. We're going to report on it assuming that it's laid out the way that all the other indicators have been laid out. So males 6 to 11, and then males 1 to 5, and then here females 6 to 11, and then females 1 to 5. So, and this is children who are underweight and who now have a normal weight for age. In this case, in this project, we have zeros here, and we could go back and look at our evaluation 1 and evaluation 3 just in case we thought that was some kind of a typo. But when we go back and look at evaluation 1, we realized that there were no children who were underweight when they started the project. They were all of normal weight. There were some children, if you recall above, there were some children who had short height or had a low height for age, but all had normal weight for age. Some were at risk, but all were at least not low weight. So we're gonna just note 0 there because none were recovered from a low weight. Okay, educated on common childhood illnesses. So this is again, just a number of how many people attended the training on this topic, or trainings on this topic. So again, the 10 moms and the 17 moms for a total of 27 moms. All right. The next indicator asks about whether or not those moms adopted new behaviors. And so here we had 10 moms and 17 moms adopting new behaviors. Second to last indicator talks about demonstrating activities for early childhood stimulation. So this is a recall indicator, whether or not they were able to demonstrate activities following a training or following a house visit. So we had 9 out of 10 mothers in the lower age category and 15 out of 17 mothers in the 25 years and above category. And the last indicator refers to whether or not the mothers adopted practices related to increasing childhood learning in their households with their children. So again, we're looking at the numbers that we have in the Excel sheet and just copying those. So we have 2 mothers from 18 to 24 and 10 mothers out of 10, and 6 mothers 25 and above out of 17. And those would be who had adopted early childhood stimulation practices on a regular basis. prior to the evaluation, the time of the evaluation. So now at this point, we have gone through all of the indicators and we've reported all of the information we have on our VRF input page in the Excel sheet. If for some reason any of the indicators look strange to you, if any of the numbers look bizarre, you can go back and look at your evaluation 3 and evaluation 1, or evaluation 3, 2, and 1. And so you can scroll over and see the similar numbers that are all shown in that final input for VRF page with the descriptions underneath, just to see if for some reason you'd enter something incorrectly in your numbers, and that's why the achieved totals are not coming out correct.